their death. He's rejecting their union to the flesh. And so what it means, guys, is that God is not willing to grant life to their fornication with the flesh, right? He's not willing to come and grant life to their fornication with the flesh. And so what we want to look at it more like is that God's fruit has forsaken them. It hasn't forsaken them because God's come like a child and said, no, you can't have it. His fruit and his life has forsaken them because they're not being intimate with him. And they can't see his fruit and his life born in them apart from intimacy with him. And so his life and his fruit has forsaken them, meaning that it isn't present there with them. Meaning that his fruit and his life is absent in them. They're barren. That's what it means, okay? And so we could look at it like this. He's not willing to grant life to their fornication with the flesh. God forsaking them is him saying, I will no longer, or I won't bless your union to the flesh. Okay? That's what he's talking about. And we can see even an example of what it means to be forsaken in Bible terms. This is a struggle. We talked about this in the Bible study, but we all have our own definition of forsaken already before we even come here and talk. And we're all going to hear what I say through the word forsaken based on what you think forsaken means. But the Bible has a different way of describing forsaken. And so maybe we'll just use a Bible picture to describe forsaken. So if we want to look at what is this, you were like a wife forsaken in her youth. We can look at it if we look at Adam. Okay? God desired for Adam to have life and be fruitful. Okay? But Adam fornicated with the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, didn't he? Adam was intimate with the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and he wasn't intimate with God. And so what did God do? He didn't bless Adam's union with the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. He didn't bless Adam's union with death. He saw that the tree of the knowledge of good and evil would make Adam barren. And when he came and found Adam barren, he turned his back on Adam's union to the flesh. But he didn't turn his back on Adam as a person because he came and clothed Adam. But he did turn his back on Adam's barrenness. He said, Adam's barrenness is not my heart for him. Adam's union to the tree of the knowledge of good and evil is not my heart for him. And I see that what's happened to Adam is that my life is absent from him. I see that he's barren. I see that he's not bearing my fruit. And so I'm going to forsake Adam's union to the flesh. I'm going to turn my back on Adam's union to the flesh. Now, how did God do this? Did he do it by leaving Adam physically? No. What he did was he put Adam outside of the garden. He didn't allow Adam to have access to the tree of life while he was in bondage to death. So God didn't bless Adam's union to the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. He didn't bless Adam's barrenness. He didn't bless Adam's death. He didn't bless his union to the flesh, but he forsook it. That's why he put him outside of the garden. But if we look at that example, we see that God didn't run away from Adam. We see that God was very near Adam the whole time. And so we could say Adam was like a wife forsaken in her youth. He wasn't bearing the fruit of God's life. He was barren. He wasn't barren because God abandoned him. He was barren because he was being intimate with the flesh. And so God come and turned his back on that thing. It's like, what does it mean to be a wife forsaken in her youth? We can look at it like this. You guys know, like at a wedding when two people are getting married, and they go through the whole thing, and then at the end they say, if anybody knows of any reason why this union shouldn't be, or these people shouldn't be married, speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay? So Isaiah 57 would be God speaking now. Okay? He saw that his wife was playing the harlot, and she was laying with another man. She was joining herself to the flesh. And his dream for her life was that she not be barren. And he saw that her union to this flesh was making her barren. barren and keeping her from enjoying his life. It was keeping her from bearing his fruit. And so God had a chance to speak against this union. And when it says that she was like a wife forsaken in her youth when she was refused, it's talking about God speaking now and saying, I can't agree with this union. I can't bless this union. The reason I can't bless your union with the flesh is because I've betrothed you to myself. Okay? I want you for myself. I can't bless this union with the flesh because your union with the flesh can never bring forth fruit in you. It can never bring forth life in you. It could never give you what I've dreamed for you out of our union. And so I can't bless it. I have turned my back on it. I can't agree with it.
Hallelujah.
Does that make any sense?